Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Brandon Ribar. He is President and CEO at Sonida Senior Living. Brandon, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
So let's start off by talking about the company. Tell me about Sonida Senior Living.
So Sonida Senior Living is one of the larger operators of senior living communities around the country. We provide independent living, assisted living, and memory care services to right around 10,000 residents across the country.
Now tell me, how are customer and resident needs evolving?
I think it's a really interesting time right now for our business because with the aging of our American population, so many different families are coming into contact with senior living for the first time. So oftentimes, children of their parents or spouses are really trying to figure out as they age, what's the best setting for them if it is time for them to move out of their traditional home setting. Where do they want to go next, and ultimately, what does that look like? Do they want more socialization? Do they want more space? What types of activities do they want to do? And so we get to introduce the industry and we get to introduce Sonida to so many new folks these days as the population's aging.
And now the labor environment, how is that being addressed?
I think when people move into our communities, one thing that they're so focused on is what's the care profile? You know, who's going to be running the activities with my parents or my loved one, or who's going to be responsible for their care? And although in this environment right now, we're competing with anybody who's running hotels or restaurants, really any service model right now is highly competitive. We really like the fact that people who work in our industry really are in it for a purpose. They're in it because they love to provide care and services to individuals as they get older. It's a very rewarding profession, so that even though we compete with other major service industries, really it's a calling for so many of our team members, and we love that about this labor environment, although it can be challenging.
All right, technology, tell me, does technology play a role?
I think it plays a role now, and I think that role is only increasing. I think what you saw in the pandemic era was individuals in senior living communities, they needed to access technology to talk to their loved ones, and loved ones who maybe couldn't travel as much or they couldn't visit in the senior communities where their loved ones were living. They really wanted to understand what was happening. Was my mom or dad going to be in activities every day, or who were they socializing with, or were they just in their individual apartment? And so having technology for people to communicate, having technology for people to even share what they're doing with other communities of seniors around the country is something that's been really important. And then also just giving family members the ability to contact their loved ones on a real-time basis, not just with the traditional, phone calls, but through FaceTime videos and like live interaction has been a blessing for us. So I think it's going to be more and more prevalent, and it gives people the confidence and the level of transparency that, again, this opportunity to be in senior living is new for so many people, that they want to understand what it really means and make sure that they feel confident in the services their loved ones are receiving.
All right, and finally, Brandon, tell me, what do you think should excite investors looking at the senior living space?
I think there's a number of reasons to be interested in it. No more than the supply-demand, just those key metrics of how many people are going to be moving into senior living in the near future. We all have heard about the very, very quickly accelerating aging of the American population. So our business is right at the heart of that, because we have the opportunity to do something that's really special, which is to provide services for people who maybe no longer want to or can live in their traditional home-like setting. And maybe they have a little bit of apprehension, but they're excited to learn about the other parts of the world that they can spend time in. And so for us, we just think that if we deliver a great product and service with the best team members, that our business is going to be really successful and continue to deliver great product for our residents.
All right. Well, Brandon, it's been wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.